Do you have any tips on how to successfully mix orchestral instruments, violins, woodwinds, those sorts of things, and rock and metal styles together? What to avoid? Okay, so what I'm assuming here, and I have to make an assumption, is that we are not talking about what riffs should the violins play. I'm assuming that's not what the question is. What I'm assuming is you've got your rock metal song, and you want to bring in these other instruments, okay, strings, brass, woodwinds, all that sort of thing, into your songs. Okay, you want it to have it sound good. Okay, so yes, I do have a excellent tip on this, and you would not likely find this tip on your own unless you studied a lot of music in this style, symphonic metal kind of styles, and you had the score and an incredible ear. Okay, so basically, when you bring stringed instruments, that means violin, viola, cello, string bass, orchestral strings, generally speaking, symphonic metal bands keep strings out of the range of the guitars. It's out of the guitar range. Okay? So if your rhythm guitar, and I should clarify, I'm only talking about rhythm guitar, not lead guitar. If your rhythm guitars are playing, let's say, an open E power chord, right? 6-string open power chord, right? If that's what you, in that general range down there low on the neck, if that's what the rhythm guitars are playing, keep the strings out of that range. Okay? Because they clash with guitars. Orchestral stringed instruments clash with guitars. They take up too much, they're competing for sonic space in the mix. Okay? So when you're trying to make sure that your guitars are clearly heard and you want the string parts to also be heard, they fight with each other for space. This is a problem. Yes?
When you say range, you mean like register?
Yeah, pitch range. Right, yeah. So if you're playing the open E power chord, you shouldn't have the string parts duplicating that. You shouldn't have it at the same range nor below that range. Okay? It should be up, higher than that. All right? They can fill out other, they can play other notes in the E minor chord, or add sevenths or ninths or whatever you're going to do, but up above that range. Okay, does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, brass doesn't compete for sonic space in the same way that strings do against just distorted guitars. And I should clarify, when I say that the strings, orchestral strings, compete with space for rhythm guitars, I'm only referring to distorted electric guitar rhythm parts. So if you had a clean part that was, rhythm guitar but clean, no distortion, then the clash is not a big deal because a clean guitar doesn't take up that much space. Distorted guitar takes up massive amounts of space. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so keep the strings higher. Brass instruments, trombone, tuba, those instruments, trumpet, they don't fight in the same way against distorted rhythm guitars the way that the strings do. Okay, so if you were scoring orchestral parts against the rock band instruments, you would have typically you'd have your strings, let's say we got our, this is pitch range, okay, high, low. Okay, so you got your bass down here, bass guitar, and then you've got your distorted rhythm guitars in this pitch range, okay? So your strings can be anywhere up in here. Brass and woodwinds, but brass in particular, can also be up here and in any range down in here. Okay? Woodwinds you have to be a little bit careful of, but they don't fight against the distorted electric guitar the way that strings do. So I'm going to do this. saying you can have it down here, but be careful with this. You can be careful. Okay, this is a dotted line. Just, it can't go that low, but just be cautious. Okay?